was going to do a review of the year, but I got ill over Christmas and I haven't really been able to think about it. So now I'll do a review of the decade, or the millennium so far, which is going to be even more rushed and, yeah, even worse, because I've got no clue what happened this decade. What did happen? What happened so far? I know the internet was before 2000, we definitely had the internet, but I really wasn't using it much until then. I didn't really start using it till this decade, and I've used it a lot since. So that's what the millennium has been. That's all the millennium has been really for me. Although, at the start of the decade, I was in Wales seeing it out, and we were all expecting the millennium bug and that everything would break, and that didn't happen. My father bought a massive giant firework and set it off, and was really excited about this for the whole of the day. And we set it off in a little field opposite, and it just went and it was so disappointing. It was just tragic to see the disappointment in his face. So that's more or less how the millennium and the decade, how it's gone so far as I can tell. Not much has happened. We started off, well, things have happened. Bad things have happened. Horrible things. Things have blown up and people have had wars and people have died. This year in particular, lots of celebrities have died and lots of people have died, and there have been lots of natural disasters. There have been a lot of natural disasters this decade. Yes, and a lot of war and a lot of fighting and a lot of people hating each other and killing and nastiness and horror. Let's knock that on the head and not have that next decade. That would be nice. I'm not sure that's going to happen. Personally, I was not in London at the beginning of the decade, or the millennium even. I didn't move to London until April 2000. And I had a job there and it was all fun. I haven't got that job anymore, but it was a fun job while it lasted, for a little while. And I've done loads of things. I can't think of them offhand, but I'm sure I must have done loads of things. It's been 10 years, that's quite a long time. Since the last millennium, since the last decade, I must have done loads and loads of things. Yeah, so I've done things. So that's my review of the decade so far. Can we have nice things now? That would be lovely. I'm sure it's been lovely for loads of people. Yes, well, put your hand up if you... That's not me putting my hand up. Put your hand up if it's been lovely. Well, good. Good for you. Well done. Yay. I'm happy for you. I am actually happy for you. I'm not being sarcastic. I am being sarcastic, but not really. Because if good things have happened, there's been a lot of people that have come into public prominence and had lovely things happening to them, started families and started wars. No, started wars isn't a good thing. That have done things that are worth doing. So if you've done something that's worth doing, that's absolutely changed the world, then I applaud you and well done, because most of us haven't, and most of us are in more or less the same position as we started. I am sitting in Wales, going to see in the new decade, see 2010, I'm in here, 2009, I'm going to see it in 2010, and that'll be lovely. I'll be with my family, in the bosom of my family, and that'll be really nice. But I'm just getting over being ill for nearly a week. It's been since Christmas night and I wasn't feeling too great on Christmas Day. But that's great because that just sums up the whole lovely decade. Hooray. Now I don't want time to pass, because time passes, that means you're getting older, you're going to die, everything horrible's going to happen. This is the zeitgeist of the 2000 aughts. Something ought to happen, but it never did. But, and when it did, you didn't really want it to. I should think myself lucky, because when was it? The 7/7 thing in London, where people were bombing things and the tube. I was actually underground at the very time that happened. I didn't even know. The tube stopped. It was one of the tube trains that would have actually, it was one of the ones that had been planned to go wrong, to be blown up, as far as I looked later, and it was quite like, oh, that was bad, because it just stopped in the tunnel and it was like this weird spooky feeling of weirdness, and I knew something. It's been weird all morning really. I just moved to Peckham, so that was weird enough, but it was strange all morning. Then I got to work and it was like, why is there nobody in work? And then it all kicked off and everything. But I know people that were even closer that actually saw things explode. So really though, that's really lucky that nothing bad happened to me that day, when it could have so easily, and it was just inches away. I just took a different route to work that day, and if I'd taken the route that I usually do, and even though I was underground when that happened, I was at the wrong part of underground. So So that's a good thing, but also a bad thing, sort of averted. So I would like to remember all the people that aren't here anymore, and there's a lot of them. And I would like to say hello to all the people that have been born in the last 10 years. I've got nephews and everything that I never had before. So loads of people are here that weren't here before, and there are loads of people that aren't here that were here, and that's not so good. But we should remember them and look forward to the future, and everything is going to be absolutely fantastic. And that's not the greatest review of the decade so far, but I'm sure things have happened. Yeah, things have happened, and now we'll move on. Let's move on and go forward to the future when much better things will happen, I'm sure. Okay, I'm going to just leave you there and have a little sit down. Bye-bye.